Hello everyone, this is Garrett and this is Serious Sam, the second encounter. And we are in the Grand Cathedral, the last level of the game. And it's big and it has a serious bomb right here, and I'm going to skip all that stuff for now. And I'm going to spawn these guys in because I feel like that's a good idea, and then I'm going to shoot that wall. Because that wall has some things behind it, one of which I won't pick up yet. But I want the serious damage, and I want to lay some pain onto these fools, upon which they will die, and I'll be happy. So, we start the level off with a lot of stuff. And the moment we spawn it starts to spawn those harpies over there. And I kind of want to make sure I have the damage power up for those guys, because they do get very annoying. They carry kamikazes around, and it's just an all-around not so good experience if you leave them without a damage power up, because they can be a bit tricky to kill if you don't have bullets like I did. Of course, I could just pick up that ammo power up over there, but ammo, you get enough of it, but you want to be fairly conservative with it at the same time, just so you can use your preferred weapon of choice against basically everything here, and that's exactly what I'm going to do as well. Which is also why I haven't used a serious bomb yet, even though there's one behind me, because I want to use it at a later time. I probably won't be using every serious bomb we're getting here, because some of them are just in kind of awkward locations, to be perfectly honest, but we're just going to try to have as much fun as we possibly can. We're probably going to end up using every single weapon we have to get through this level, with maybe the exception of using the pistols, but there you go. Let's pick up this cannon. And we already had a cannon anyway, but you know, now we got another one, so that's pretty sweet. And yeah, this is pretty much the level in a nutshell. There's going to be a lot of stuff, a lot of corridors, and everything is out to hurt us in big ways. And I was wondering why we didn't get a certain one-liner yet. But I guess we're just not getting that today. I'm guessing there's probably like an enemy in that corner over there. Enemies do tend to get stuck every now and then, and yeah, there is one right there. And then let's shoot it. Oh, there's more of them. There's like 3 guys in there. What the hell? Okay. Well, somewhere in there is a one-liner, but the game does not want to give it to us today. There's another! Are you serious? They just keep coming from that tiny hole. And there you go. So these guys are actually kind of tricky to deal with, just because there's a really large amount of them. Like, seriously large amount of enemies right here. And that's, you know, kind of the gist of this level. This is the level with the most enemies in the entire game, I believe. And they are not messing around either. They are throwing everything they got at you. Which is why I still haven't picked up the damage power up, and, or I mean the ammo power up rather. And I'm going to use a serious bomb now, because there's way too much stuff around me, and I don't want to deal with any of it. And I'm actually going to go back and pick up all this stuff now. This is actually one of the few, if not pretty much the only level, where I feel that this version actually looks better than in the HD remake. The HD remake, like, I think the graphics in the HD remake for this game are incredible for the most part. But for this specific level, I think they're not so great, because it just looks really bland, and I don't know why. And I think that big light over there isn't there either anymore, and it just doesn't look as cool. And it still has the music, so there is that, because the music is just really good. It just keeps playing through the entire level as well, and this is just the music. In a lot of levels you hear like battle music and normal music, but no, this is the final stage music, and it is really good in my opinion. But oh well, that's why I'm playing this version. This level just has a little bit more niceness to it to me, and you know, it has the nostalgia factor for me as well, which is pretty much the main reason, let's be honest. But we are slowly but surely running out of clears. It's taken a while, and there's still more coming, but for the most part, these clears are actually quite nasty as well, because these are kind of similar to the enemies which we saw on the big ice field in the previous level. Only they're effective. Like, they do try to make this weird paths towards you, and that way they're actually pretty good at dodging your attacks. But unlike on a giant ice shield, it's not very slippery here, so they actually manage to hit you at all, and that makes them a force to be reckoned with. And that's just one of the many tricks this level is going to be throwing at you. But we made it past the first corridor almost. We're getting places. This isn't even like the biggest level either, and it's, in terms of level design, it's extremely simple. It's just a bunch of corridors for the most part, really. But it's fine, because they fill those corridors with everything they got, so most of the time we're just going to be shooting a lot. Let's use our chainsaw for the heck of it, why not? And then back to the cannon because there's a whole bunch of red biomechanoids over here. Something quite nasty about the red biomechanoids, which I'll go into later as well as we meet some of the more nasty spawns for this level. Because even though this level is very simple in a way, it makes use of some things which I guess weren't really possible in the previous level. Because in this level, for the most part, you can pretty much run back through the entire level. Like, you can go all the way to the end of these corridors and then run all the way back again if you really feel like it, which is actually really convenient in a way, because it means you have a lot more room to fight everywhere, and it makes all the battles a lot more doable in my opinion if you feel like you're running out of room. Like, that pretty much never happens. But as you'll soonish see, I'm gonna go with soonish because it will be a little while before we actually like go around any corner pretty much. There's some scary things. Anyway, there's some cannons over there. I think I was maybe wrong in a previous level because I was pretty much certain that this didn't work at all. But yeah, the sniper rifle actually works pretty well against those cannons, which I thought was surprising because I do, like in the Citadel, I think what the level was called. Or, I don't remember. Like the first level of Act 3, essentially. Like, I tried shooting those cannons, and they just wouldn't go away. It was a real problem, but these cannons do... well, they die really quickly, so maybe it depends on the type of cannon, because there are different types of cannon, I believe, but maybe I was just doing something wrong. There's a very good chance that was just simply the case. But nothing to worry about now. The important thing is that we can do it, and that's why we will do it. And sniper rifles are sweet. I am a bit worried though, because I'm always a bit scared that I miss something here, because chainsaws make so much noise and it's sometimes pretty difficult to actually tell where they're coming from. And the main reason why I'm walking all the way back is because I missed an ammo power up and I figured I could just run back for it now. And it was pretty much true, because man, there's enough stuff here to keep me occupied for a pretty long time. And they do run through the entire level as well if they can't find you, so it's not like you're gonna miss enemies by doing this. And eventually I'll shoot that red dude. I'm gonna do that now because he might be a problem. And I think there's a bull coming towards me. Might as well use the cannon here a little bit, why not? We're gonna get a lot of cannonballs in this level anyway, so let's just make as much use out of it as possible. Yeah. I kinda also don't want to use too many bullets, but at the same time, we're gonna get a lot of ammo. There's like over 1,000 enemies in this level, and the game does accommodate for it, but at the same time I'm always worried about running out of ammo for certain weapon types, just because it can be scary, you know? It can be scary to suddenly not be able to use a certain weapon anymore, and then you find that one enemy where you would just much rather use a certain weapon on, like use a minigun on just large hordes, or use a sniper rifle on these guys. And you know, there's reasons to do certain things in this level. And thinking about it, there was actually a potentially better way of dealing with all of this stuff, and I'll go into that in a second after all these guys are dead. I guess this might be kind of convenient that I didn't do it, but one thing which is kind of important is that there's a dude over here. He's just hanging out with his sunglasses. If you shoot him, it launches a secret power-up. And it's a serious damage power-up, and that might actually be really useful. I'm just gonna grab it now, because why not? It's kind of late now, but might as well just make the best out of it, because I don't think there's really gonna be too much use we're gonna get out of it, unless we walk all the way back there and lure everything there, but I don't really want to do that right now. But moving onwards, I'm just gonna see if I can spawn some more stuff, and hopefully we'll be able to use our damage power-up a little bit more than otherwise would be possible. Just take care of everything like this. See, this is working pretty well. We got some use out of our damage power-up in the end. There's a lot of enemies here. I think there's some demons over here, maybe? Yeah, there are. At least I got to kill one of those with the damage power-up, and it just makes life that little bit easier. And this is a little bit overkill, because I did still have the damage power-up over there, and I could have just taken care of them really easily with pretty much any other gun, but oh well, it's fine. It doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, anyway, let's go back a bit. Let's go back in this general direction, because there's this strangely tainted wall over there. Tinted, not tainted. I guess you could call it tainted. In the HD remake, this is actually really hard to see. In fact, I couldn't see it at all. So, but I knew the secret was there, so I decided to just look for a certain point, and it's pretty much where the shadow starts, I think, of like a thing behind you, where that's pretty much where you have to shoot, and I'll just show it off in a video because I can do video editing. But that's basically where you need to shoot to open the secret teleport to Pumpkin Field. And the music stops. This is pretty much the only area where the music just stops entirely, and it's kind of haunting in a way. Now, in this area, the moment you run off of the field, scary things happen. But before I do that, I'm actually going to kill these cannons, which somehow miraculously die in a single shot, unlike pretty much any other cannon in this level. And then there's hitboxes. There we go. What? Are you serious? I'm still hitting the tree. This tree is huge, apparently. But yeah, the moment you step off the path, it's going to do some scary things, but the cannons insta-kill, and insta-kill is always scarier than whatever the game has to offer, so taking care of that first. I think there's another cannon somewhere, but whatever. We'll take care of that when we have to take care of it, I suppose. But yeah. Boom! Tiny chainsaw, people! That's a bit nasty. It's not what I want at all. It's actually pretty much the opposite of what I want, especially because they're all kind of running in awkward locations. And they don't all immediately explode, just the ones that are near enough. And they can be a bit tedious because I am running around like an idiot right now, and I'm having some trouble hitting these guys. Which is not really a problem, but it can be a bit annoying. Where are they? And, you know, they're invisible half the time, which doesn't help either. Ugh. But I do like to kill them, so, you know, it's important to me that I do this. And you can just run at them like that as well. I hear the sound. There we go. Like, they're so small, and they're quite difficult to hit that way, but it's not impossible, and I do like getting those points. Oh, jeez. And you'll always be able to hear them as well. But that is a bit tedious. If you fall down here, I'm pretty sure you just die as well, so preferably you don't want to do that. I haven't actually tried that in a really long time, but I'm just going to assume that that's the case, because that's how it usually goes to places like this. Only got 10 sniper rifle bullets for that, so that's kind of unfortunate, actually, but it's fine. I think you can actually, like, hit the pumpkins as well, and I think... Yeah, they're always just inside there, so you could just do that, but, you know, what's the fun in that? It's far more fun to run in like an idiot instead. Far more safe. There's also another serious bomb here. I'm actually going to leave that there for now. And maybe I'll come back for it? Probably not, but, you know, if I'm feeling like things aren't going too well, then I could go back for it, but preferably I would just not do that at all. Instead, I'm going to move forward, because we have been there for a while now. And there are still some demons left for us to kill. Because we only killed one with our serious damage power-up. And there's, I believe, one more? Yeah, there is. And there they go. Nothing to worry about, we got it under control. What we don't have under control, however, is something that's gonna come up very soon. As we walk slightly further ahead, it'll just, you know, spawn some things like it has usually done up to this point. There's still a cannon alive. Let's get rid of that first. And yeah, here come the Clear Skeletons. And Clear Skeletons is like, well, whatever. You know, we've seen those. But it actually spawns a biomechanoid right behind you. And oh my god. That thing is the sneakiest of the robot shooting robot missile people, because I don't know why, but somehow he always is just extremely quiet. And he just manages to avoid me just every single time if you don't, like, remember that he's there. I don't know how he does it, but he has some sort of mystical powers of being very, very quiet because he's hunting for rabbits or something, and he does a very good job at doing so. But yeah, always be wary of that pretty much from this point on, like this specific corridor and just onwards, that there might just be things that spawn behind you that way. And I'm actually not 100% sure where all of them spawn, so I'm actually just going to be looking behind me every now and then. And I want to avoid using serious bombs as much as possible, like only when I really, really have to, because I want to have at least 3 for the final boss. And we're going to get at least 1 more as we progress through the level. But preferably, I just want to make sure that I just have 3 at all times. And for pretty much the battle before we get to the final boss, I might use 1 there because it gets hectic, like it gets crazy, that battle. But pretty much in the remainder of the level, I just don't really want to use any of them, except for like at the very start because I already had 3. But you really don't need to use it there. Like you can very easily take care of all of that with a cannon if you just shoot a bunch of cannonballs and manage to hit a lot of targets that way. But yeah, I'm pretty conservative during this level because I'm always scared that things are gonna go horribly wrong. And they have a tendency of going pretty wrong, unfortunately. But anyway, we move forward, and as we move pretty close there, we start spawning kamikazes behind us, and I think there's like one of those little rocket dudes spawning over there as well. There we go. That's a little rocket dude. That's his official name now. And all the way on the other side, it starts to spawn like one demon and one of those green dudes who shoots the green balls of death, and they can be kind of tedious to take care of while you're fighting all this other stuff. At least most of the kamikazes die pretty quickly over there. So, oh, there's actually 2 of those. Oh, that's interesting. I thought there was only 1. But we managed to kill one of them, and we managed to kill the second one as well. I'm always just so worried that something's going to be behind me, so I'm always a bit paranoid. Just during the entirety of this level as of this point. There we go. It was worth it. I knew there was something coming. I didn't really, but I had a hunch. And with that, I mean I'm paranoid and look behind me every 3 seconds and, you know, eventually something has to happen. But fortunately not too much to worry about here. So, while we're here, this is actually probably the last time we're going to be switching to the HD remake. Because there is actually one secret in this wall over here. And you can shoot it as much as you want, and just every time it'll say, like, secret area found. I don't know why, it just does. But if you shoot it with a missile, you open up the area, and there's some items in there. They're not great items, but, you know, it's more than nothing, I suppose. And, you know, it's nice. So yeah, saving that. There's a bunch of power-ups over here. There's a health power-up and all sort of cool stuff, and I'm gonna ignore all of it. I'm gonna leave all of that alone, because the more I can leave to pick up for later, the merrier I feel. And I like to feel merry. I like to feel as merry as possible during this entire level because this is a very stressful environment for me. No matter how many enemies I kill, I'm always worried there's gonna be that one guy who sneaks up on me and goes, yo, and just shoots a rocket right in my face, and it'll be most unfortunate. I've already died a couple times in this playthrough. At least it's not as embarrassing as in my first encounter playthrough, I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty unhappy with when I later rewatched like the first or the last level, but whatevs. Let's try to keep this last level at an absolute minimum, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if I died during some of these parts. It's just one of those things that happens. It's not the easiest game, and like I consider myself fairly decent at this game, but even still, like stuff can always go wrong, as it has gone in some of the levels. And yeah, just be careful. Like if you die, no whatever, just load a game. If you're playing multiplayer, then especially whatever, because who cares if you die in multiplayer in this game? There's just virtually no consequence in most of the multiplayer servers, except if they're like the really, really hardcore point-wise ones. But no one does that. Pretty much everyone who goes super point-heavy on their games, they just play with people they know, so you probably won't have to worry about dying all so much. And this is another point where just a whole bunch of stuff spawns behind you. I have 5 bullets for that gun. I'm pretty much running out of ammo for every gun I have, and it's rather unfortunate. I might just be crazy and just use a serious bomb here just so I don't have to worry about anything, but I don't want to walk through that teleporter again because, you know, that's not exciting. And let's use a flamethrower, actually. Why not? That's actually not a bad idea. Thanks for randomly switching to that weapon. And we've actually run backwards so far that he commented on it, so that's pretty good. That's high quality gameplay right there. But again, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just worried about getting out of here alive, and that's exactly what I'm going to continue to worry about. Because as you can see, there is plenty of stuff here, and I don't care if people say this is a weak way of doing it. I'm doing it like this. Plus, a speed power-up apparently spawned over there. Didn't actually know that because I'm pretty sure I've never actually walked this far backwards before. But it's good to know because it means I can run forward again pretty quickly. I'm a bit annoyed that I lost all of my ammo for a lot of guns, but that's what you get when you save your ammo power-ups for a long period of time. And of course another biomechanoid spawned all the way over here as well, so at least we took care of it from the source, I suppose? I don't know. And these guys are they're just running into the wall. I'm not really sure what they're going for, but they're not seemingly going for me, but I don't really like the noise they make. Oh dear, don't shoot me with those rockets though. Is there one behind me? They make so much noise that I was just a little bit worried about my safety, my health, my everything. And there's so many rockets here as well. It's just, terrifying this place is. But we're getting through it. We're running out of every ammo type except shotgun ammo, but we're also running out of enemies. And in a minute, we'll be able to walk forward and just grab a whole bunch of stuff that we left behind anyway, so, like, who cares? Still nothing behind me, I don't think, so that's good. Biomechanoids just keep coming, though. Come on. I hear a clear skeleton, and I don't like it because I don't know where he is. Oh, no. There's a biomechanoid right behind me. I thought I killed that one, but I guess I didn't. Oh, jeez. How about we kill you? 14 health. Pretty good. Pretty great. Ugh. Okay. So, that was interesting. There's a health power-up over there, but I think there's some bigger ones up ahead anyway. I think there's some over there. Yeah, there is. I'm just gonna grab this armor because I'm scared. Oh, God. But yeah, apparently at some point this speed power-up spawns. I don't know actually when that happens. But, you know, we got to see it, and that's all that matters. And that's why it was totally worthwhile running backwards that far. And, you know, we survived, and we didn't need any silly things like bombs and all that. We can just go on without it. Mostly because I'm a cheap bastard that refuses to use things which are actually good. And, yeah. Things are okay. Hey! I said things were okay, not things are bothered by clear skeletons, as they usually are. And the next batch of enemies is already on their way, so... they don't mind. They'll wait. They've got time. They don't really have much else to do except wait for me to come by and destroy them, so... They don't mind if I take a little bit longer to end their lives forever. Or until the next person starts a new game. Ooh, but yeah. Eventually, we'll actually continue to the next area. At least I can use my minigun again, and I'm pretty happy about that. Not often I can do that in this level anymore, and it makes me sad. It's a fun weapon to use, in my opinion. It is one of the easiest weapons to use, really, just because you just aim and you shoot, and it does the work really well. Where you don't need to zoom in with the minigun, you don't really need to aim, it just sort of works. As long as you sort of point at the general right direction, everything should probably be fine, really. And with this weapon, you actually need to aim, and it's all scary, and yeah, I don't like yeah. And there was a red backpack, and everything's good again. Everything is maxed out. And that's the way we want to see it. That's the way we want to keep it, but that's probably not going to happen. Instead, we're just going to move forward, finally, to the next part. Still more corridors. Still more scariness, but it's fine. It's all fine. Nothing we can do about that. Let's not pick that up just now because we are really full. We really don't need more ammo right now. What we do need, however, is a secret area. Right there. Secret teleport to the Embryo Museum. And this is kind of pointless because I walked so far backwards, but it's fine. Let's get this, and the moment we touch this heart, or maybe get close to it, would be nice. I guess we actually have to pick it up. We spawn 2 of the orange reptiloid dudes, and they are easy peasy with the power-ups we picked up. But this place is pretty cool. It's like a giant Ugzan, like the boss of the first encounter. And that thing, it's like a question mark demon. I don't know why it looks like a question mark. It just does. It's a question mark with arms. And I don't remember that boss showing up anywhere in any Serious Sam game. But whatever, it's there. It makes this little appearance in this game. And our damage power still lasted long enough to do that. There's a window over there, and I'm going to shoot it because there's a guy inside. And invulnerability! And God, that makes this area so much better. This place is so scary with all those cannons shooting at you. There's cannons over there. There's cannons to the left of us. Cannons to the right of us. And everything's awful. But fortunately, we got invulnerability, so nothing matters anymore. We just sit here, we point at things, we kill the harpies, and these things take care of everything. And everything's good. Everything's great. Let's kill that cannon just for good measure. And let's move on. I'm actually not going to use much minigun ammo here. So this place is a little bit kooky. There's some people here. Most of them are a cannon. That's a lie. Most of them are frogs, actually, in this place. It's not so bad. But there is a cannon over there, and I want to take care of it as quickly as possible. Because that can get really tedious. And I'm just going to just hang out here for a while. Not much do we have to worry about because we got corners. And corners means we can just sit around and shoot at any frogs that come towards us. This is sort of a really, really tedious area in the HD remake because the frogs are complete idiots. And they kind of are in this version as well, but they're not as much of a big idiot as they are in this version. And what I mean with that is the frogs get really confused by these jump pads, and they'll just manage to get themselves in positions where they jump into the jump pad in such a way that they'll just jump straight up and down forever. And like a whole bunch of them do that, and it just takes forever to kill everything here. And that's another problem I have with the HD remake. The strategies for that version are actually quite different. And I think we actually got one of them that got in that weird position where it's just... Oh no, it's getting here. Slowly but surely. But there's just a bunch of positions where the enemies get stuck in the HD remake, and it's really annoying, especially in the next area. But whatever, not much we can do about that now. What we can do is we can sit around corners and then hope that they don't hit us too much. Because this is an area where I usually just take a lot of unnecessary damage because I don't really know how to take care of it. And then these guys spawn, and there went all my health. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I kind of wanted to run away from that quicker, but I kind of thought they would be a little bit later, so I'm actually going to be a little bit careful and try to grab some power-ups that are above these jump pads here. They're actually not too... These clear skeletons are not too great at, like, being in between these things, so they're not too worrisome, but they can be kind of scary just because there's quite a lot of them. And I'd rather not use too many bullets here because I want to have as many bullets for the next area. Oh, jeez, hit them. And then there's this, which is also a problem. Because, oh god, kamikazes are scary in every situation like this, where you can't really control your movement very well. But fortunately most of them, if not all of them, are dead now. I think we're gonna have not so many bullets for the next area though, but whatever. Like, I'm not even really worried. Like, I'm pretty used to the next area having, like, 100 health and 100 armor at most. Like, something always goes wrong here, and I always end up losing pretty much all of my health and armor, and then I just pick up what remains here and just go with whatever I got, really. And this was no exception. Something went wrong, and our health and armor isn't great right now, but whatever. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer because I think stuff should spawn in a second. Unless it's just... Oh, there we go. It took a while, but... Where is he? There he is. There you are. And there's a bunch of green dudes coming towards us with their balls of death. And I don't like it, but we're just gonna have to live with it. And we can actually take care of a lot of them while standing over here, so it's cool. I'm just gonna take the damage here, because why not? Just to take care of these guys on the far edges. Because they are by far the most annoying. There's 3 more, or 4 more rather, but they're all in such positions that they generally won't hit us, really, so they're not much of a threat at all. There is still another Harpy alive, but I'm not actually sure where, but it sounds pretty close to us. There it is. And slowly but surely, we're cleaning up here. There's like a few more of these green dudes left, and they're gonna die pretty quickly. 1 more, I think. Over there, probably, yeah. 3 on the left, 3 on the right, but when you take care of those, that's about it, really. I think that was basically every enemy here. And as such, we're just going to clean up all the power-ups over here. I don't think this is a full... Oh, it is! Wow, okay, fair enough. I guess usually, I've always just picked that up by accident, and it's annoying, because in the next area, you want to have as much ammo as possible. Especially when playing Classic. In the HD remake, it doesn't really matter too much, but in this version, you want to have as much ammo as possible for the next area. Because things work a little bit differently compared to the HD remake in this place.